Hello and welcome to World Talks with me, Ashim Kumar. As President Volodymyr Zelenskyy returns to Washington to attend the funeral of Senator Lindsey Graham, he has just completed an off-camera conversation with Donald Trump. Ukraine is intensifying its long-range strikes on Russian energy and logistics infrastructure, while Moscow continues its devastating attacks on Ukrainian cities. What role is energy now playing in the war, and could stronger US backing change the strategic balance? Well, joining me is Victoria Voytsitska. She's energy expert at the International Center for Ukrainian Victory. Victoria, welcome back to TVP World. Thanks for taking time.
Thank you for having me, Ashim.
It's a pleasure. So, they've spoken off camera. And it has now been announced by the Financial Times that Witkoff and Kushner are going to be going along to Ukraine in the near future. What do you think's been going on, Victoria?
I think we are seeing and observing the change in the tone and overall attitude of Trump himself personally and his administration towards Ukraine. So we have moved from the Ice Age cold seen in the past. Now we are seeing the attempt to actually rebuild the relationship between the United States and Ukraine, especially given the overall situation with the war against Iran, where United States is not capable of receiving or achieving actually the results that they wanted to. Speedy really change of the regime in Iran and bringing peace to that particular region. So now I think Trump's administration, their plan, and they're counting on looking at Ukraine as the opportunity to demonstrate to the world that they are with the winner, not with the loser. Ukraine being the winner in the war, and supporting the winner is a better bet. And means that the Trump administration will have better cards, as President Trump likes to use those analogies, in terms of showing to the voters in the United States that he and his team can actually demonstrate positive results and can achieve victories and demonstrate wins, especially when it comes to the so long, over 4 years long war against Ukraine continent.
Victoria, what does the positive result look like, though, from Trump's perspective, in your opinion?
Well, the positive result we have already demonstrated, as you have mentioned, the successful mid to long range missile and drone attacks against infrastructure, energy infrastructure within Russian Federation, and not only. We have demonstrated quite successfully in the past our objectives and the strategy of depleting Russians of the ability to have a stronghold, its fleet in Black Sea, for example. We have already demonstrated quite significant results of really getting out the Russian shadow fleet from the international market by targeting the relevant ships in Azov and Black Sea. So we have demonstrated lots of positive results during the last especially 12 months, and we're holding the line, which is the most important thing. And for Trump, it's a sign that Ukraine is gaining the momentum.
Okay, fair enough, although it must be said that some of those things happened before the disastrous meeting in the White House as well. But moving on from there, I want to focus on Crimea because Ukraine is doing a particularly good job in cutting off energy to Crimea and pretty much blocking routes in and out, and of course logistics is being destroyed as well. So Russia's in a difficult position when it comes to Crimea. What do you think Ukraine's strategy is there?
Well, Ukrainian strategy is straightforward. Historically, Russia was never able, and not just Russia, but Hitler's, for example, Germany, was not able to maintain control over the Crimea once it was becoming an island isolated from the mainland. And this is what we're doing right now in terms of, as you mentioned, the supply of, among other things, electricity. The peninsula was dependable on the not just internal production of electricity. Over 50% of electricity is produced on the Crimean Peninsula, but the rest was supplied by Russia through the connection with its mainland. And we have successfully managed to create certain conditions to not allow Russians, Crimea, to receive the electricity from the mainland Russia. And that's the first thing. The second thing is that we have successfully deprived the ability, the Crimea, the ability to deliver electricity within its grid from the power plants, including thermal power plants that they have on the peninsula, by targeting specifically the parts of the grid that connect the electricity generating capacity to the consumers. And of course, the fuel supply. This is where the most of the pain is coming from, because of the inability to provide not just the businesses and military bases with the fuel to run the economy, to fuel and run the military bases, but most importantly, we have shown that Russians will not enjoy the summer season on Crimean Peninsula, at least this year, for sure, because they cannot get there.
Well, if we're talking about seasons, Victoria, let's move to winter. Now, Ukraine has been very effective in destroying much of Russian energy infrastructure. How debilitating is that for Russia, and will they be up and running again in time for Russia for winter? I beg your pardon.
Well, we were and are targeting primarily their oil refineries in order to deprive the Russian war machine of the ability to collect enough taxes from the sales of fuel on its gas stations. Plus, we all know that any modern economy runs on fuel, and without it, it cannot sustain as the country and as the economy as a whole. So that was our priority, and still is our priority number one. Without the refineries, there is no fuel on the gas stations. Without having enough fuel on the gas stations, of course, it will have a domino effect on the overall economic situation in Russia. It forces Russia to actually increase the sales of crude oil at a significant discount on international markets. So it has a domino effect. When it comes to energy infrastructure per se, the one that Russians have been heavily bombarding and targeting with missiles for the last 4.5 years in Ukraine, such as substations, such as electrical power stations. Ukraine hasn't even started yet. And we understand that our focus is on the most painful part of the Russian economy, which is oil and gas sector. It's energy, but it's oil and gas specific. We have limited resources. Let's be also honest. We have limited number of capabilities available to us due to financial constraints and technical constraints, and the capacity to produce more drones to target respective assets. So we've been through one of the, or I would say, the most difficult winter ever when it comes to the modern history of Ukraine, the last one. And frankly speaking, we understand that it's important to deprive the military complex of Russian Federation of the ability to source the power to such production facilities. But we also think about the human part. We need to remember about that part as well. We're human after all.
Right, indeed. What about the other way around, Victoria? We just have a minute or so left. How well prepared is Ukraine for the coming winter?
We're in a much weaker position comparing with previous years. We are doing everything that is possible to prepare for the next winter. Of course, 6 months is not enough to rebuild what was damaged and destroyed. We will have most probably blackouts, regional blackouts during the winter time. But psychologically, since we survived the coldest winter, the most severe winter, the last one, we are prepared for whatever comes.
Well, that's good to hear, Victoria. And thank you, as always, for sharing your analysis with our audience. Have a good evening and stay safe.
Likewise.
Bye. That brings us to the end of this episode of World Talks. Don't go away, lots more coming up. Goodbye.